Welcome everyone to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today spawning the east side of the map playing in pink. We've got Corvinus 1 playing as the Order of the Dragon, and his opponent on the southwest playing in yellow. We've got GUA playing as the Delhi Sultanate. Welcome everyone to Cliffside. That is the map for today, and we've got a bit of the old versus the new. The Delhi Sultanate, we know them from the beginning of the game. The Order of the Dragon though, they're very new with the Sultan's Ascent DLC. Lots to figure about, lots to talk about, lots to discuss, lots of strategies that could be employed by these two civilizations. What's kind of interesting is I think the Order of the Dragon at this point, going up against the Delhi, are going to have to be aggressive as they can be, right? Like we have seen a bit of a couple of 2 town center build orders for the Order of the Dragon. It doesn't really feel viable against the Delhi. I don't know, it could be eating my own words in a couple of seconds, who knows? But because the thing is that the Order of the Dragon, it does take a long time to get units out, and you cannot say the same for the Delhi. They really do get units out quickly, especially with the efficient production, being able to get a scholar garrison inside the production buildings. They can pump out a lot of units very quickly. And not only that, by the way, guys, if you guys know GUA, and both these players do stream on Twitch, by the way, so certainly worth checking out. But GUA has got to be one of the most aggressive players in Age of Empires 4. The stuff he does is kind of crazy at times. I mean, sure, you got other players like Lucifron, Vortex, can be very aggressive. But it does feel like sometimes that GUA is on another level type of aggression. It's not always the best play, but he does it anyway. And I'm pretty excited because the Delhi are very aggressive in many ways in the feudal age. Obviously, they've got the mid-map objectives to go for, the sacred sites. They do prioritize that. Of course, because of the sanctity upgrade they get for free. Well, they get all the upgrades for free. But what sanctity allows them to do is allow the scholars to get the sacred sites, rather, in the feudal age. Now, if you're going up against the Delhi, you got to deny that, right? You can't just let them get the sacred sites because that's a lot of gold that comes in. That gives them the access to the castle age a lot bit quicker. I did just say a lot bit quicker, didn't I? Yeah, a lot bit quicker. That should become a saying. But yeah, the Order of the Dragon are going to have to pump out units quite quickly. And it's not something they are known to do, so I think the second town center would delay them a bit too much, but we shall see what Corvinus has in store for us. It's going to go with the Minework Palace, and it's going to be the Dome of the Faith, the landmark option for GUA. Now, it's going to give them cheaper scholars a discount of 50 gold. And what's really nice for the Delhi Sultanate, of course, getting those free upgrades. It does take some time to kick in, but with the Dome of the Faith, getting the scholars at a reduced cost, you know, essentially the research times are tied into how many scholars you have inside the mosque. And so the more scholars you have, the more mosques you have full of scholars, the quicker those texts come in. Speaking of texts, it's got the wheelbarrow coming in, and also piety. Going to be increasing the health of the scholars by 40. And no doubt, when he gets to the feudal age, he's going to be increasing his research and getting the sanctity tech as well. I mean, one option for Corvinus is to go for a fast castle himself, and it feels like if he's going for an outpost on gold, that's probably what he's going to be going for. And that, I don't know, it feels a bit risky, but it could potentially work if he gets hands on relics. The trouble is that how does he get them safely if the Delhi are going to get a lot of units, which they tend to do? Because obviously those units are going to camp out on those relics and try and deny the prelates from getting them. Now, there is an option for the Order of the Dragon to get castle age units in the form of gilded knights, but they're very expensive. Like, you're not going to be able to get them out quickly either. They take a long time to train. I think it's 43 seconds or something crazy like that. So, military numbers wise, you can't be in multiple places at once. That's kind of a problem for the Order of the Dragon as well. I don't know. In many ways, it feels like a hard matchup. But we shall see how he plays this one out. If there's a way for him to beat the Delhi today on Cliffside. So now that we get to that feudal age, we should be seeing some production buildings being dropped. But we'll have to take a second to see if that happens or not. Now, whilst we are waiting for that, I'd like to say a very big thank you for everyone supporting on the channel, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch. I know a lot of people do watch me live streaming on Twitch these days, which if you're interested, if you've been primarily watching me on YouTube, which I think most of you probably do who watch my content, maybe drop a follow on Twitch. Maybe you catch me live next time. And if you're watching on Twitch right now, well, if you enjoy the content, maybe think about subscribing on YouTube if you do actually watch YouTube videos for casted games like this. I pretty much cast at least upload, at the moment it's actually 3 casts a day, but I tend to try and stick at least to 1 cast a day. Interestingly enough, Corvinus is keeping things open. He doesn't want to let his opponent to wall up. He wants kind of an axis in the middle, The good thing is the sacred site in the middle is pretty close by, right? So Corvinus just has to send a couple of units. Maybe a unit. Of which he has none so far. Now, I guess many ways we've got to keep an eye on what the Delhi are doing. They're getting the first blacksmith. Maybe going for... I mean, you often do see a double blacksmith opening. It does delay things in terms of military production. And I think GUA will be comfortable with that because, you know, he's not going to be up against... Wait, is GUA going for a fast cut? Wait a minute. Alright, scrap everything I said, guys. GUA is going to go for a fast castle. Maybe looking to contest the relics himself. Which is actually kind of interesting because you will have scholars out, right? And he can pre-prepare that. Whereas the Order of the Dragon can't do that. That's actually really significant when you think about it. So he's going to keep the scholars in for now, but once he does start teching up, he'll start to get the scholars on the map. But the concern really is that Corvinus' fast castle is just going to be quicker, right? Because the builders actually build faster, 20% faster, and obviously the gathering 25% more efficiently. There it is. There's a Berg of Palace, so he's going to pump out units with that landmark. And I like this kind of opportunity for Corvinus, because this landmark, what it does is a bit different from the Holy Roman Empire version. So this is acting as barracks, which produces 30% faster and 30% cheaper. The HRE just only have a faster production speed bonus, obviously a lot more than 30%. I think it's 400%, I believe. In any case, the Order of the Dragon just can't really support that. Like the economy you'd need would be bonkers, purely because of the high cost of the units. So having that 30% discount on cost is actually really significant for the Order of the Dragon. It's a really nice power spike, I feel, and it's going to go for it today. Well, the power spike for the Delhi Sultanate, though, in the Castle Age is not as strong because the thing is, all the techs that come in, like the veterancy upgrades for units, they take time. They just take time to come in. But obviously he might just go for heavily armored units, right? It's going to send out the scholars on the map now. But the Berg of Palace is going to be built pretty soon. And I mean, the one good thing is that the timing of it, it's not just about how quick you get to the Castle Age, it's how quick do the scholars or the prelates get their hands on the relics. And the trouble is that the Order of the Dragon can't actually make prelates until they get to the Castle Age. So it's going to produce them now, but because he didn't go with the Regnitz Cathedral, he's going to have to go for a monastery instead. And to be fair, not going for the Regnitz Cathedral means he's not really prioritizing the relics anyway. So it's kind of an interesting game, actually, I've got to say, because the sacred sites weren't capped by the Delhi Sultan, didn't really go for that. And Corvinus didn't really go for the relics in the form of the Regnitz Cathedral. Wait, what? Did aggro the boar? The boar's got a mind of his own. Where's he off to? Holy moly. Okay, well, he headed back now. But GUA now does get to the Castle Age. And oh, we've got a floating scholar there for a second. Did you guys see that? That was kind of bonkers. Picks up the first relic there. Wait, he's picked 4 relics up, GUA. That's going to be crazy, actually. When you think about the gold income from that, that's going to be super strong. I mean, he can actually house all the relics already. He's got 2 masks, of course. Dome of the Faith is acting as one. Does deposit a relic in there. And so, interestingly enough, Delhi are not necessarily getting the relic gold, the gold rather, from the sacred sides. Getting it from the relics. Oh, he's got to be careful here. That's the Gilded Landscape. That could do so much damage. GUA, careful, careful, careful. Careful, careful, careful. Wait, he's trying to wallow though. He's going to get Landscape in there. But the Gilded... Oh, God. Okay. Yep. Swipe. Oh, my God. He just killed 3 villagers in one sweep there. Or 2 sweeps. He killed 4 villagers. He killed 6 so far. On that wood line, a couple went down. Must have as well. And it's already 6 villagers down. By the way, this unit is actually bonkers. Because, you know, the thing about... Oh, that's a good man at times. But the Gilded Landscape... The thing about this unit is that the vanilla version, the usual version, is pretty squishy, right? They get killed very quickly. It's like a glass cannon. But this guy has got an HP of 170. Like, that is pretty solid. Has a couple of crossbows at home to defend. But picking up 4 relics is a really nice pickup there for GUA. Corvinus is kind of struggling to produce, right? It's just the economy is not as stable as he needs to be. Alright, looks like kind of mass crossbowmen on the field here for the Delhi. He's probably a bit concerned about man-at-arms, and quite rightly so. Doesn't have steeled arrow, and with only one blacksmith, it's really going to take time for that to come in. And well, I'll take that back because it's just coming in now, but it's going to get it bloomery afterwards. I'm not sure about that one. Probably pre-queued it up, right? It could potentially get sacred sites now if you wanted to, GUA, especially because of the fact that the unit numbers aren't all that high for Corvinus just yet. But that could obviously change. Is now starting to activate those sacred sites, and he's actually getting a good like 300 odd gold per minute without having a single villager on gold. And I like that for GUA because he's going to be able to continue to produce scholars. It doesn't have to, you know, now that he's in the castle age, or even before the castle age, he doesn't really need the gold. No, before the castle age, he doesn't really need gold for that much, unless he's thinking about Imperial Age, which you wouldn't necessarily think about. And I suppose it will help him getting some tower elephants if he should wish. But at the moment, he's just looking to focus on food and wood in terms of villager assignments and look to get a couple more scholars. Maybe mass scholars could be an option with the unit support. We'll have to see. Does activate the sacred site in the north, but Manitons will take care of that. Does dive in with the Gilded Horseman. That's actually a really nice counter to these crossbows. These crossbows are going to absolutely melt. 250 HP, 15 melee damage, but a plus 15 against range. So it's dishing out 30 damage. And considering that this guy only has 80 HP, it's going to be within 3 hits. Does get sniped though in the end, and that's an expensive loss there for Corvinus. Every unit that you lose is the Order of the Dragon. It's pretty expensive. Well, that outpost should go up in the end, but there's not enough space in that outpost, and that could be pretty deadly. He goes for the Horseman first. Oh, he did give it an attack notification for GUA. Well, actually, maybe he didn't. I don't think he's noticed, but will he get the kill? I'm not so sure he will, but that's a lot of weak villagers. If another Lance Connector was there, those will all be dead. Alas, he only had one Lance Connector. He does have the Central Sacred Site now as well, the Delhi Sultanate. GUA playing them as civilization today. In the north. I mean, he's got good numbers, right, of crossbows. Just 1 or 2 man-at-arms here being lost for Corvinus is actually pretty bad for him. Capture the top sacred site once again. Thank you, Fully Charged TV, wishing me a happy affiliate anniversary. Very kind of you. And if you guys are wondering on YouTube what that means, is on Twitch you have a couple of, I guess, tiers of your relationship with Twitch, I guess. You have affiliate and then you have partner. So, yeah. Just, it's been an anniversary, I guess. The wolf chomping at the bit. Pretty slow game, and that's understandable against the Order of the Dragon. They're pretty slow to get going. But now 3 horsemen going across the map in the north. Just to find some damage, which he might just find, because I'm not sure the wall goes up in time. If he decides to send units that way. Which it does appear so. Now, there were quite a lot of weak villagers earlier on that berry bush, and it wasn't that much. I mean, the crossbows will get good DPS against these guys because they are ranged units. Which we'll see if they're magic. We do hear some elephants coming out, though. Of course, with the anti-cavalry aspect of the elephants, that could be problematic for the Order of the Dragon. Oh, it does dive in. There's the tower elephant. You can try and snap a villager or 2 if you can. Should get 1 or 2. Interestingly enough, the scholars were there, but they weren't healing up these villagers for a while. Does lose 1 horseman. Takes a lot of HP on the other there. Looking to decap that sacred site in the north is Corvinus. Wait. What's interesting is the fact that Corvinus has kept up with the villager count is actually quite incredible. Like, I guess he's killed 6 villagers, but he's done pretty well to keep up for sure. I was kind of expecting the difference to be more than that. Wait. Yeah, he is producing. That's kind of weird. But neck and knocking villagers does favour Corvinus in many ways, because, you know, the Order of the Dragon villagers, they do gather a lot faster resources. More efficient at building too. So he's going to keep hold of that sacred site. Would like to see GUA maybe just invest some of his wood into palisades there, because you can build it with the infantry. Gilded Man-at-Arms going to chase down a couple of Ghazi raiders in the middle of the map, keeping that sacred site activated. Behind all of this, GUA possibly thinking about going to the Imperial Age. Look at the resources he's got. 1,200 food. Almost 1,000 gold. I mean, he's going to need double the resources he's got at the moment, almost. In terms of food, at least. Now, he's spending everything, and it kind of makes sense, right? Probably a bit of suicide there to go to the Imperial Age. So we're going to stick it out in the Castle Age for now, and try and produce as many units as possible. Does lose another villager on that wood line. Probably not going to lose any more than that. I mean, kind of weird situation, right? Because Jiwei does have the military number advantage, but that doesn't really tell you that much, because sheer numbers isn't everything. Especially when you're playing against the Order of the Dragon. Because these units are just... But oh no, this is bad. Corvinus is going to lose at least one villager, maybe two. And it could have been worse. I mean, what I would love to see generally is for the crossbows to get really close to the villagers. He was still a little bit away from them. Possibly could have got another two or so villagers. Okay, we're diving in. There is a relic inside that outpost, but it does have the tower elephant. That will siege down a bit. Oh, that's bad. On that lens connector. That lens connector is going to get so much damage if they catch up. Oh my god, it dishes that damage. Kills the villager. There's just so much going on. He's going to clear that up there, Corvinus, in the middle of the map. He's going to torch down that outpost, but does have a relic inside. Emergency repairs comes out on that. Now, the movement speed on this guy is very decent. 1.25 per second. The villagers 1.29. So the villagers should be able to get out, theoretically, as long as they don't bump their way into things. Alright, well, the outpost is being repaired. Might go down, although there is a couple of horsemen and a lance collector and man-at-arms. The crossbows need to focus on the man-at-arms. They're not. The horsemen are going to be diving in. The gilded horsemen on those crossbows. The crossbows are fighting against the horsemen at this point. They really need to go... Oh, the lance collector going to get up and close and personal. The lance collector, those units are bunched up. That is concerning. And yeah, unfortunately, Jiwei is going to lose a lot of military in the middle of the map. That is not ideal for him. Might be the start of a pushback for Corvinus. Is that keeping that forward position though? And this does have village fortresses as well, so that's going to be producing villagers. That village count will start to steadily rise now for Jiwei compared to his opponent. Oh, good raiding here. He's only killed 2 villagers so far, having lost 10 himself, Jiwei. Just 1 scout on Ghazi Raider. But Corvinus sending units to deal with that. Now, interestingly enough, Jiwei has actually activated all 3 sacred sites, which the north is now looking to be decapped by Corvinus. But again, I'd love to see some static defenses here for Jiwei. And now that he does have the compounded defender, maybe keeps could be an option. It's floating a lot of gold, but it's understandable when you have 4 relics and 3 sacred sites. At that point, I mean, he doesn't actually have any villages on gold at this point. But he's getting a good 700 income per minute. That sacred site in the north will be decapped though. And that's going to take away a bit of a winning condition there for Jiwei, for now at least. He's certainly going to deny that 3rd sacred site in the south as well. And wait, there's a couple of villages here. Maybe he's looking to get a keep. Yeah, he's looking to get a keep here. There's a lot of weak villages. Of course, the Lance Connect have had their way with them. I mean, it's an interesting position. I'm not so sure about this keep. I mean, the trouble is he couldn't move further forward, right? He doesn't have any units here. Kind of forced into that situation. A keep a bit further forward would have been nice to protect that golden stone. But alas, it wasn't possible. Now, fast Imperial... Well, I say fast, but medium Imperial? Medium pace Imperial? Because Corvinus has now got there. So the villager deficit that has accrued because of village fortresses and the keeps is going to reverse itself. Corvinus now with that Palace of Swabia, which is a crazy landmark, by the way. So if you guys thought the Palace of Swabia was strong for the HRE, it's even stronger for the Order of the Dragon. Like, not in its basic functions, because it's exactly the same. Like, it increases the production villager speed by 200% and giving you a 66% discount. That's exactly the same percentages as the HRE, but the point is the fact that it's percentages. Because the villagers for the Order of the Dragon, they cost more and they take longer to train. So as a percentage, you're getting more bang for your buck. You're getting more raw base kind of cost being taken off. Like, you're getting raw base time to be trained discount as well. Just by that landmark. It does make it a little bit harder for being raided to death, right? Because if you've got Palace of Swabia, producing villagers very quickly. If you lose a couple, well, you're going to make them back up again. A couple of gilded man-at-arms going to try and dive on that. One horseman, a couple of Landskeletons do get a couple of swings on that. Oh, that's a devastating hit. Trying to get more. Does take out one scholar. Might be trying to get a couple more. Horseman, though, attacking most of the damage. Landskeletons trying to chase up with those crossbows. He does get another hit, but still, a good number of crossbows still survive. Does have a tower elephant as well, so I think all in all, Corvinus will probably lose. I don't know, I think he wins this actually. He's got 2 Landskeletons. He should be fine. I mean, the tower elephant might be a difficult issue, but he's killing everything else. That's a good pushback there by Corvinus. Trouble is, Giveu is very far away from Imperial Age himself, and he's going to have to fight it out in the Castle Age for now, at least. Does make things a little bit tricky. Oh, Kaiser Raiders being chased down. Military units deal 15% damage, by the way, and gain 1 armor by the inspiration from the prelate. Or the, yeah, the prelate. Alright, Giveu, think about walling up, maybe looking to go to the late game. Now, the thing is that in recent times, the late game hasn't been all that strong for the Delhi. Well, I wouldn't say recent, but in olden times. But now it has actually picked up pace with the elephants having a bit of buff, because they're very population efficient units. And if you go to the super late games, it can be very difficult to stop. Does have a keep in the north here, Corvinus, so certainly looking to keep access to that sacred site. Is being denied now, and well, cuts off a bit more of a gold income that the Delhi would have. Picking up the first relic there, Order of the Dragon. I think you had it earlier actually in the outpost, right, which got destroyed. So looking just to relocate that. Alright, relatively quiet game so far, but it does look like Giveu is focusing on a lot of crossbowmen. Just wonder whether Corvinus might change his approach and go for cavalry in the form of horsemen. Knights would be a mistake, of course, I would have thought. That number of crossbowmen becomes very difficult. Now, Giveu, he doesn't have that food income, right? And I think the economy can be really strong for the Order of the Dragon at times. I mean, sure, he didn't go for the Ark and Chapel for the extra 10%, but it doesn't necessarily matter, especially if he looks to get crossbowman himself, right? Because if it's pure crossbowman versus crossbowman, the Order of the Dragon with this upgrade as well in particular, well, actually no, it wouldn't factor in at all, because it's actually plus 10 damage against siege units. But yeah, I'd be interested to see how important that actually ends up becoming, like if that's something that actually helps him out too much. Couple of Landskeletons keeping the Order of the Dragon Empire functioning in the north. No raiding happening because of them. Always threatening. Heading almost into the 24th minute of the game, and it's pretty relaxed. I mean, both players are kind of chilling at this point. Maybe looking forward to playing that late game. The Palace of Swabia has helped him catch up a little bit, but don't forget that the keeps here for Giveu, these have village fortresses, so it's constantly producing multiple villages, well, from different spots, of course, but there's another town centre. So effectively on 4 town centres, which keeps them on pretty decent par with the Palace of Swabia. But I gotta say, like, I find that the Minework Palace is not all that amazing. I can't actually quite remember the details of the other 2 upgrades. It's actually quite relatively new to me. I often see the Ark and Chapel. But the Minework Palace is being built a lot by the Order of the Dragon. I think the 10% is not really appealing to players all that much. Alright, we're getting architecture as well, because you can, or court architects. Everything's free, of course, for the Delhi. Well, it looks like Giveu, now that he feels confident with his static defenses, is thinking about going to the Imperial Age. And Corvinus has had a lot of time to build up a large army, right? And upgrade them too, if you so wished. It has been pushed off gold in the south. Now, this is an issue because Delhi have been on the front foot for the last couple of minutes, and if they start to continue to, or at least continue to deny the gold income for Corvinus, it could become a bit of a problem. Like, gold income is not looking too much of a problem so far. It does have that massive gold on the north, right? Protected by the keep, which is going to be keeping it very safe for a long time. Speaking of keeps, well, Giveu is going to have to keep trying and get some sort of way to get an advantage here in the game. Going to go up with the Hisar Academy. for the Delhi Sultanate, which acts as a madrasa, would be accessing a lot of nice upgrades, but it generates 12 food per minute as well, based on how many techs you've got, and gives you 3 scholars for free as well, for good measure, because to be honest, you do need quite a lot of scholars, otherwise the tech ups are very slow for the Delhi when you get to the Imperial Age. And speaking of Imperial Age, well, Delhi are there now. Slow burning defenses, incendiary arrows. Well, it's going to queue up everything, right? Because that's what they can do. 124 villagers to 94. Does feel like Delhi have a good economy. Especially when you factor in he's got the second lumber upgrade. Second mining upgrade. Lots more things coming in for free too. Well, pretty hard farming transition coming in for Corvinus. Does mean that he's not going to be able to produce units all that quickly for the short term, but in the long term that's going to scale quite nicely for him. You can see a lot of upgrades. Biology coming in for Delhi. Everything you can click on, really. Corvinus does get the sacred site in the north now, and it's going to look to Stonewall as well, so we're definitely going to head it into the late game. And, I mean, GUA has walls in very nice spots, right? Because there's a decent amount of gold in the middle of the map, and it feels like this is what's going to be heavily contested. I mean, sure, Corvinus has some gold in the north, and he should have this one as well. And this one. To be fair, Corvinus will be fine for gold, because a lot of his gold resources are in the north. I think if you're GUA, you've got to really attack this area in the north. Oops, sorry about that. Got to attack the area in the north, because there's a lot of gold to be had. You could also just go for the harder economy, but if you don't kill someone and you're diving in, it does cause you problems. Now, speaking of farming transitions, take a look at some GUA. Beautiful farms. Well, pretty quiet, but I wonder whether they're both gearing up for a major fight pretty soon. Now, GUA is almost population blocked. Corvinus is getting there himself too. Certainly stonewalling hard. They do not want to be breached. That's understandable. Well, looks like GUA is fully walled. Probably happy with this situation. Biology coming in now for GUA. Also getting armored beasts. I would love to see some more elephants there for GUA. It does have the golden food to do so. That economy is looking pretty bonkers. 10,000 food. That really skyrocketed, guys, didn't it? Damn. I mean, I guess it's you know, because of the farming transition he got enabled with. Oh, bit of a action in the middle. Okay, 2 bombards coming forward. Looking to take out the keep. There are a couple of gilded spearmen. Gilded man-at-arms as well, trying to charge the front line. That's actually a bit precarious here for GUA. And we should be able to hold the spot for a little while, but that keep will go down. There's no doubt about that. Can try to take out as many of the units as he can. Production forward, and units are coming up, but doesn't feel like they're doing all that much damage to their opponent. All of the dragon units, they are pushing heavy. It does have a couple of elite lancers now. I think the elite lancers will trade decently well. Yeah, certainly looks to be, and I think GUA should be able to win this fight, especially with the reinforcements coming in. And the question is, where does Corvinus go from there? Does he just keep spamming units? Quite possibly. It doesn't really seem to have the economy set up to do that, though. So that would be a big risk, I think. Bombard comes out there for GUA, he loses it pretty much instantly. And that's unfortunate. Corvinus picking it off very nicely. But that's a nice number of units now for GUA. I mean, wait, there are 80 units here for Corvinus? Not necessarily here, but I guess you probably have to divide it by 2, but it's mostly because of the siege, I guess as well. Well, Corvinus, he's being held back. There's a decent amount of elite gilded man-at-arms, though. That's going to be tough to deal with for GUA. How does he find a way with this? I'm not sure. Oh, bombards unpacking once again. Taking out production buildings, in particular siege workshops, which I quite like, right? Because the thing is that the only thing that can really deny the siege that's on the field for Corvinus is other siege. Whether it be culverins or, you know, it could be springolds, but you would need a decent number of springolds to do that. On the other hand, GUA trying to clean up. Did lose a bit of his farming transition though. Balancing the economy there. It's GUA. Got a lot of food and wood. Holy moly. Alright, Elite Lancers having to stay at home though for GUA. Having to fight this fight, and Corvinus diving in a little bit. Decent number of Lance Connector, a couple of Elite Man-at-Arms, but I think this is the fight that GUA will win eventually. Especially because of the defender's advantage, right? Units popping out. Elite Ghazi Raiders. Although there's a couple of Lance Connector there getting huge value. I mean, I'm not so sure. Corvinus might just overwhelm, but I mean, eventually the defender's advantage will kick in, right? He's getting so much value though, Corvinus. Holy smokes, those units lasted a lot longer than I thought they would be possibly. Now all of a sudden, it's Corvinus. He's pumping units down the middle of the map. We could be in for a long one, ladies and gents. We have to see. What side? Man-at-Arms going to raid as many villages as possible, and a spearman too. Take a look at this. A load of walls in the southeast. A lot of walls in the north. And, well, to be fair, Corvinus will be happy with that because the Palace of Swabi is up and running. The thing we won't be comfortable with is the potential lack of gold in the middle of the map. He's charging in though. He's going to take a fight. There we are. The Gilded Man-at-Arms. Gilded Horseman. Corvinus diving in. Quite a few regular Ghazi Raiders there for the Delhi. He's taking the engagement. Corvinus might win this fight actually, just by sheer numbers. Although Streltsy are here. Wait, Streltsy? Hand Cannoneers rather. For a second there. This gave me Streltsy vibes. I just think numbers-wise, Hand Cannoneer adding to the fight is going to decimate the cavalry at least. The Lance Connector getting so much value. He needs to find a way to deal with the Lance Connector. They are squishy to the Hand Cannoneers. Maybe full Hand Cannoneers could be an option. We'll have to see. He mostly clears up the army that's pushing there in the main base, but take a look at these bombards, 4 of them. And the big issue is that's going to take a lot of the infrastructure down. Has 2 bombards of his own here, GUA. Maybe looking to snipe out one of the enemy's bombards. He does get one. He might just lose one himself. No villagers out to repair. Cavalry going to dive in against each other. I would love to see maybe just a couple of Ghazi Raiders just wrap around to get as many of those cannons as possible. Decides better of it. He backs away for now, but he does have 3 bombards of his own here, GUA. He snipes one. Has a numbers advantage now. Could potentially snipe another. No, not able to get there closely in time. The thing about gold is it's such a strong resource for endgame units. It still has a decent amount. I think if anything, maybe Zaid's running out. Still a decent amount there, a little bit, I guess, actually. Yeah, a decent amount there as well, so he's not doing too shabby. Going to chase up that army. I think what Corvinus is doing as well is buying himself some time once again. It's actually a smart play when you factor in that he's got the Palace of Swabia, right? It still takes a long time to kick in. 34 minutes in the game. Has lost 48 villages in total, though. GUA. Not ideal. Oh, Corvinus moving forward with villagers, looking to get a keep there, I suspect, or maybe on the gold vein. We shall see what he's going for. It's got to be a keep, right? He's just got to find a way to place it down. There it is. Yeah, that's a problem situation. Got to try and steal gold off his enemy, and that's probably a good idea. Take the gold from your enemy before you take your own, because if you can get away with it, it's absolutely huge. A couple of villagers come out to torch that down for a couple of seconds, but obviously They just have to head back home. Gonna try and get an outpost for some vision. Got 3 bombards ready to fight and elite Ghazi raiders. Oh, bombards making a move down the middle. Good number of units here for Corvinus. Dangerous units as well. Oh no. Well, Corvinus is going to lose some prelates, but not the end of the world. It can always make more. Loses 1 bombard. About to lose a second, and that's actually really expensive here for G-Way. Trying to get Wallalow, but that's not going to work. He loses... Wait. Is it going to work? Wait. Corvinus. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, he gets converted. A lot of the Order of the Dragons version, military, rather, does get converted there to the Delhi side of things. And we've got Delhi Elite Gilded Spearmen. Elite Gilded Man-at-Arms belonging to the Delhi, and that's huge. That's usually Corvinus coming out with a great Wallalows, but today he gets Wallowed. Tasked you just come back and look at this. We've got war elephants now on the field. GOA going to be looking to take out that keep with the war elephant, 3 of them. And he's population capped himself now. Corvinus going to be riding into the main heart of the base, which has done a lot of damage already. You can see the ruins left behind. But will those ruins spawn something great out of the Delhi Sultanate? Could be possible, but it's coming out to repair the keep. I'm not sure it's going to work because there's a bombard, there's 3 war elephants. That's not going to keep alive for much longer, and I think Corvinus is just trying to buy time, right? He's been pressurized in the middle of the map, keeping the Delhi Sultanate army at home. And now Corvinus does have the population cap himself almost. Keep goes down on the east. War elephants might just chime in more. He's got more as well. I like this player. Wait, where did these stables come from? Okay, that's forward stables. I guess the war elephants might be breaking through on the east side soon. Oh, Wallalow coming off. Tried it again there, G-Way. Didn't quite manage it this time. Units being trickled in quite heavily. Straight down the middle. Here comes some more with the bombard. But I think generally if you're Corvinus, you're probably going to need to build up an army and just take a big fight together. Because the Delhi have been doing pretty decent at putting out fires. Okay, elite Gilded Man-at-Arms. Well, I mean, they're going to die pretty quickly. Just the sheer numbers here. GOA with 100 military. Wait, is this going to end soon? Because Corvinus is kind of low on military numbers. Now, he does have a few things in his favor. He does have repairs, emergency repairs, does have a keep in the middle. That's going to take some time, but will it be enough time for Corvinus to rebuild an army to fight this? I'm not so sure. That's a lot of war elephants, guys. Holy moly. $1,275 health. Yeah, tanky boys. That's the... Oh, god. That's Lance Connector going to try and get close. Oh, does get a couple of swings. Oh, no. G-Way, careful. G-Way. G-Way. Whoa, he lost way too much than he needed to. Massive dead bodies to the Lance Connector. Great game of Age of Empires 4 so far. I'd like to say that if you have thought this is a great game, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. YouTube will really help promote it that way. It makes a big difference, actually. I have to check some of the analytics, and certainly the YouTube engagement makes the YouTube algorithm push it out further, because obviously it shows that people are enjoying it, right? Getting forward, keeping that sacred site in the middle, and now pushing on heavy with the war elephants. Could this be a push that can't be stopped? I'm not so sure. We'll have to see, because Corvinus, where is his army? He's cooking. He's getting some army there in the north. Not sure, though, if it will be enough. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Patience is a virtue. But it's definitely going to be tricky to hold this push, right? Not only does he have units, but he's also got a lot of siege damage coming out. The bombards, the elephants. Oh, the elephants just kind of rise in a little bit. Still won't die, and if he did have a couple of scholars to heal up, that would be devastating. But with 106 military versus 44, I mean, sure, even if you double it to 88, if the units are taking 2 population space, it's still looking a bit rough. Especially because of the map control, and yeah, he's taking out production buildings. He doesn't care at this point. He's probably thinking, yeah, you can kill my villagers and you can kill my units and whatnot, but you're going to be struggling out of wood soon. And you can't keep producing those production buildings. 3 mangonels, they do deploy, should do a lot of work there, a lot of splash damage, not to the elephants, but to everything else. trying to get through, but I think it's the samurai. Or the gilded man-at-arms, in fact. Samurai? Why am I thinking of the samurai? It's very late for me. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I was thinking about the Japanese for a second there. I do enjoy the Japanese, but unfortunately they're not being featured today. War elephants do have to back away here for GUA. Lost a lot. And all of a sudden now it's a push back again from Corvinus. Spread formation comes out, uses a couple of landscapes. There is a bombard. So GUA has to be careful not to lose the mangonels cheaply. Gets one hit on the mangonels and does back away. He's focusing on infantry to kill out the war elephants. War elephants survive for now. Ooh, 2 mangonels. They need to do great work, but I don't know what you do against this number of elephants. Can't go cavalry. Maybe spearmen. Full spearmen could be worth it. Trying to get the mangonel shot on the back line there on the janissaries. Janissaries? The hand cannoneers. Oh my god. Think about the different civilizations. But the war elephant's going to charge us down. He might take a bombard with them. I think a couple of these war elephants are very low on health. Bombard might just shoot one down. No, it doesn't focus on that. Does have cannon emplacement inside the outpost. Oh, the elephants are all going down. This is devastating. They're Delhi losing their showman unit. That was a great unit though, I've got to say. Disappears into the ground, I'm afraid. But he's down to 10 military. He's about to be overwhelmed. I mean, surely there's no way GUA doesn't win this, right? I'm not so sure. I mean, he probably needs to get some siege to really push in hard. He's going to dive in on the enemy siege. Take out those lance skeleton are kind of annoying, gotta say. Starting to bomb his way through the Burger Palace. That's actually a big problem because that's a really significant landmark for the Order of the Dragon. Cheaper units, produce faster too. Yeah, he's trying to produce the landscape. That's actually a big pick up there because the landscape can be very dangerous. Does use the E repairs, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough against 3 bombards and that sort of torch damage. Wait, it's going to go for the monastery? Okay. Probably should redirect his attacks. Everything nice, safe and sound at home for Delhi. No problems at all. Can't say the same for Corvinus. Whilst he's done a great job defending, his base is under huge attack. Whilst we're going northwards, just to see if they can get some raiding value, and there's a possibility on that wood line. That's how far you're confident in going. GUA starting to gain some momentum, I've got to say, in the middle of the map, but the Palace of Swabia, it always does feel like it's a comeback mechanism. Elite Lancers to raid. Holy moly. Takes out 1. Takes out 2. Takes out 3. Probably best time to back away because there's a lot of infantry there from the Delhi Sultanate. Starting to head forward with Elite Lancers. And the great thing is that the Delhi obviously research all the techs for free, so eventually you have Elite everything. Just non-discriminately. Like, even if you don't make any of the units, you'll still have access to it though, which is kind of crazy. Keep goes just behind that town centre. This is looking a bit tricky, I've got to say. Like, Corvinus, how does he defend? I mean, the military numbers did actually just shoot up there quite significantly, right? So the Palace of Swabia has come online, the villager count looking healthy, and that's a decent number of villagers on food. Farming transition is well underway, and this is a problem situation for GUA now. He's slowly being pushed. He might lose the premium units in the form of the bombards. If he does, this push is going to gain a lot of momentum. Does have the cannon emplacement inside the keep. Might need to take care of that there, Corvinus. Might even try to torch it down, but he does have boiling oil, so it's probably ill-advised. He's spending a lot of resources in terms of units being lost here, Corvinus. Going to try and snap out the bombard on their way out. I do have to back away though, I think. There's a maintenance coming in soon for the game. Does lose the bombards and now does back away. Damage has been done. A couple of rams on the west side, trying to cause some havoc, but I'm sure villagers will be pulled out there for GUA, and that's exactly what happens. There's no army to reinforce. So he'll be fine doing that. Hand cannoneers look to dive in a little bit, but does retreat back to the safety of the keep. Maybe some trebuchets could be quite useful for Jiwei. We'll have to see what he decides to do against this. He's possibly going for rams. Oh, that's a lot of villager out of time. He really wanted to keep that blacksmith alive. Getting wood in the south here, Corvinus. And he did go forward with a keep. The Delhi. That's a bit rough. I mean, that's a really good forward position. Corvinus needs to try and defend this somehow. That is the capital town centre. Not so much a bothersome issue because he doesn't really need to produce from that, right? He can just produce right from the Palace of Swabia and it'll be fine. In the south, oh, there's a big engagement here. Delhi trying to get a keep here in the forward position. I'm not sure it's going to go too quickly. There's quite a few of the elite gilded spearmen and Jiwei might lose a lot of villagers. Has hand cannoneers. Should be able to hold on for a while. Corvinus has villagers of his own. I think he should hold this. And the keep probably should go. I mean, the thing is that Corvinus is targeting on the villagers, right? And Jiwei might need to send some more. But an absolute massacre in the south. In the middle of the map, not much is happening. That keep is going to be solidifying that position as best as possible. I mean, the keep, does it go up? He's lost all the villagers. Oh, that's bad. And he might lose the fight. Because there are a good few numbers of spearmen here. Uh-oh. Jiwei might have to delete this keep. That's expensive. Jiwei, delete it. Before it takes losses of HP. I want that refund back. Or do you? I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, I'm pretty excited to see what it might be opting to do with that keep. He's not destroyed it yet. Or deleted it. I've taken out 2 landmarks so far. So go for a landmark snipe? Quite possibly. Capital town centre still alive and kicking. How did they get through? Oh, I don't think that was walled up fully. Oh, okay, yeah, they mined through, right? That's why. That's kind of risky, right? Mining through resources breaks the walls. Oh, the keep in the northwest is going to go down. Looks like trade has been set up there by Jiwei. We've got 5 so far. Let's get a decent amount of gold though. 86 gold. That's not too shabby. Now all of a sudden Jiwei started to struggle on gold. Well, he's not really struggling though, is he? He's got 1,000. I suppose a lot of it, some of it's down to the traders. Well, most of it's down to the traders and obviously the relics in particular, and the 2 sacred sites. Not to forget those. Yes, every village that would come from the town centre would just die immediately. And maybe even the Palace of Swabia. Yeah, he's losing villages there, beastie. Has got 80 of them though. Not a shabby number at all. Can we look to try and burn down the palisades and see what raiding value they can get? Breaking through on the north. I thought it was a ceasefire. No, there's no ceasefire in Age of Empires, I'm afraid. And, well, they're going to go straight for it. And that keep is still standing. I think Corvinus is going to try and get a couple of rams maybe or 2. Although, to be fair, it's not bothering him too much. Most of his economy has shifted down into the southeast, right? That's a huge farming economy. Has some outposts to defend. And, well, looks like Jiwei going to try and raid in the north. Outpost does get deleted there by Corvinus. Didn't manage to build it up in the end. And same with the other outpost. That might be going down pretty soon as well. But it has broken down in the southeast. This could be a big trade because Jiwei fighting in the north, breaking through the north, and Corvinus breaking in through the south. Question is, who will do more damage and who will do it quickly? Let's go for the production. The trouble is for Jiwei, there is a way through there, by the way. He can actually break through. But he's got to be careful here, Jiwei. A lot of farming transition is... Oh my god. He's going to spot this because he's got to. Like, that's a lot of units. That's a lot of villages. It does pull the villages away from the wood line, but it takes engagement. A lot of farmers will go down here. He's got a massive economy, though, banked up. 9,600 food. And so if he loses a few farmers here or there, it's not the be-all and end-all, I've got to say that much. And that's actually what Corvinus is focusing on, right? Uh-oh, these villages, Corvinus is trying to bring them back, and they're just dying to the keep. Oh no, Corvinus is losing... Oh, that's bad. He's losing a lot of villagers. Critical villager numbers. Oh my god. Okay, well, Corvinus has killed 129 villagers. Jiwei 97, 98 and counting. And the elite Ghazi Raiders will be pretty decent as a late game unit. Acting as a meat shield, using a lot of mobility. Does take out one of the markets. About to take out the others, so he knows he's trading. Looks like the town centre would go down before the keep. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Just burning things down here. The Order of the Dragon. Making the mistakes. On that side of things. But he's going to try and torch this keep down. I mean, to be fair, he's getting good damage output with the Palace of... Well, not so much Palace of Swabia. It's actually the outpost that's doing it with the relic emplacement inside of it. And so, yeah, I mean, that keep will go down. It was a nice position there for G-Way, but that position has to be given up. Fighting in the south. Did he ever do much in the north in the end? I don't think so. There is a couple of horsemen pushing through, trying to get the raids. Gonna have to plug these gaps here, G-Way. Kind of hurting him a little bit. We're getting to that stage of the game where G-Way wants to protect that trade as best as he can. Getting a keep. Although, this is bad. Village coming out to build all those markets. Might be going down, and it does send a war elephant though, so it should be okay if the war elephant can keep up. It's kind of a big if though. Pretty slow on its feet. Looking to get the sacred site decamped in the middle. The Order of Dragon struggling because of the keep in the middle. Does bust his way through though in the end. Ghazi Raiders not really getting too much raiding value. They're just taking out production, well, just regular buildings rather, eco buildings, the lumber camp. And Cannoneers trying to get as much value as they can, but the units are retreating there for the Order of the Dragon. Torching down a partially built house. Oh, and Cannoneer on his own. Oh, going to be poked and prodded. Now these are elite gilded horsemen, right? So it's going to need much more than just one hand cannoneer to deal with that. Oh, where are these guys going off to? Hand cannoneer's going to be decimating that Woodine. Oh, that's bad. These are all of the dragon villagers. He can't afford to lose all of these. Corvinus down to 86 villagers, and it's going to be dipping even lower. I mean, he does have the Palace of Swabia though, so he'll reboom relatively quick. But this is a quick kick in the feet. I mean, 1,200 wood in the bank, so it's not all that bad, but he's not getting too much value on his skirmishers out on the front. Oh god, he actually killed all of them. Oof, that's bad. Holy moly. He's taking care of the raid on the west. And ideally, he's got to build those walls, essentially. It's the way to decide who survives. He does have a keep in the north now, Corvinus, so he's going to be accessing that sacred site as a staging ground to maybe mount a defense, although it's outside of the main vicinity of his main base, so I don't know how I feel about that. But with 16,000 food in the bank there for GUA, I mean, at this point, he could just spam out whatever he wanted to. Taking the engagement once more. Gilded Horsemen versus the elite Ghazi Raiders. Ghazi Raiders seem like they come out on top, but not with the infantry getting involved. That's a different fight entirely. Uh-oh. He's raiding again in the middle. Corvinus might just be losing too many villagers at this point. Down to 113 food per minute. I'm not so sure about this one. This fight, who will win? I think Corvinus wins it in the end. So we're certainly happy about that. And pushing down the middle. Corvinus, though, down to 74 villagers. What that does allow him to do, though, is to produce a lot more military, and they're coming out on the field. He does have a bank of resources, so we've seen this before, really, where one player booms up, they get a really good economy, but eventually they don't actually produce the military they need to defend. And if they get overrun, then all that booming is also nothing, right? And speaking of moving out, well, that's where Corvinus is heading now with his units. Good number of gilded man-at-arms. A couple of landscapes are going to just waltz on by and go straight through it. Oh. He's diving on some of the hand cannoneers as best he can with the gilded horsemen. Not a bad idea. Could be chasing in with a couple of spearmen as well, and a couple of the man-at-arms at the back as well. He's taking the fight. There is a war elephant getting good trample damage, but the hand cannoneer is trying to hold firm. Does have a meat shield in front of him in the form of the elite gilded Ghazi Raiders. Wait. Actually, a lot of them are lancers now, which is actually going to be helping him a lot. But not enough, because Corvinus is starting to overrun a little bit. Yep, this is bad for G-Way. He hasn't got the military numbers he needs. Now, Corvinus losing villagers, losing economies, almost done him a bit of a favour. He's got 116 military, at least in terms of population worth. And he's sniping everything in terms of siege that pops out, units that pop out, traders, you name it, he's losing it. He's going to get the keep next here, I would have thought, because it's actually killing his reinforcements, although not all that quickly. A lot of them are still breaking through, would you believe? It's obviously an oversight to be running those units through the keep without taking it out first, but it is what it is. Burning farms, not much else to burn there. Corvinus doing what he can. Harassing the wood lines, not a bad approach at all. He takes out a blacksmith and maybe pushing in a bit further, going to take out a trader. Could this be the end for GUA and the Delhi Sultanate today? Trying to protect this farming economy on the west side, being raided in the southeast, and even underneath the keep, it feels like Corvinus just doesn't mind. He's confident in his ability to reproduce his army. Pushing in the south. I mean, it's quite crazy how much these keeps are defending. They can deactivate the 6 side in the center now. I don't think they'll manage that. You can try, I guess. And they will try. Oh, what's this? Units coming out to the markets to burn them. Where are they coming in from? There's nothing there. That's awkward. In case units are starting to be pumped out by Corvinus. 100 so far in terms of population space they take. I mean, does he burn this down? It's quite possible actually, crazily enough. Oh, a couple of spearmen in the south area just to see if they can do a bit of damage. It's really starting to try and torch that down. Probably will go down eventually. But not without casualties. Corvinus, he might need to push soon though, right? Because he's got a window of opportunity. Because the eco for GUA is looking pretty alarming. So I think if Corvinus wants to win, he's got to probably win it in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. Otherwise GUA should be able to pump units once again. Corvinus is population blocked, which is kind of crazy when you think he's the Order of the Dragon. Versus 159 population for GUA. I think if you're Corvinus, don't let GUA get there. Otherwise things become very complicated. Speaking about complicated, the keep was placed on the hill, but the complication is that it has now been burnt down to rubble. Maybe we can get another one sometime. Corvinus going to be retreating with those villagers a little bit. Trying to keep safe and secure. Rams coming forward, but they'll be held in their tracks. No army there to protect. Oh, elite killed a spearman. They'll be torching down everything they can, including the farms. Getting a lot of them as well. Oh, here we go. Elite Ghazi Raiders, a couple of lancers charging in. Should be able to clear this up, especially underneath the keep, and especially with the number of archers and hand cannoneers. That's a menacing army now for GUA as well. He's really built them up quickly. Corvinus trying to take out the keep of the south, trying to defend that trade. Is that keep? But he's coming in for the... Wait, he's going to get... Oh, okay. So behind enemy lines, he's going to try and get some stables. Probably spam out some units, right? We'll have to see. That's the second keep that is just going to torch down here, Corvinus. He's coming down in the middle, though. Can't really... I mean, is he just sacrificing here? Could be. He's going for the wood, right? Okay, he's going for the wood. Has he actually completely run out of wood? Holy smokes. I think they have as well. That's where this bunch of green wood would have been handy. Has already been taken. So people will take what they can. Might need to buy wood at this point. Just whilst the trade is favourable. Gilded Spearmen diving in on the Ghazi Raiders. Makes short work of them. Diving in on that wood line as well. GUA, he's got to be careful. He might lose a lot of villagers. Even though he's got to keep there. He still might lose a lot of villagers. Here come the Lancers and the Horsemen. Well, mostly Horsemen to be fair at this point. Going to be affecting that wood line. And I think GUA just is trying to gather as much as he can. But he's down to 76 villagers. It's obviously a lot harder. Actually, I wouldn't say it's harder because he's got the keeps with village fortresses, right? So it should be fine. Trying to fight this army back away, though. And this is looking a bit dicey there for GUA at times. But he's pulling back a little bit in this particular fight. Or he's not pulling back on in this fight here. Corvinus. He sent villagers there, maybe to get a keep, but he's trying to chop as much wood as he can, right? I think he's sacrificing villagers. He can produce them, right? So he's going to try and get as much wood as he can. Oh, one on lower goes off. GUA for the second time in the game. Oh, doesn't. No, didn't get it in the end. Corvinus, he lost his units rather than, you know, being wallowed, but he still lost them nonetheless. Villagers are being sniped there. Corvinus has to back away. He's dropping villagers heavily in the south. GUA holding on with that keep in the middle. This is where the main action is now. Corvinus going to try and push that army back, and he's definitely pushing it back. He obviously took care of that keep earlier on, and all of a sudden the momentum does seem to be with the Order of the Dragon. So many villages have been killed so far. More than 400. Holy smokes, what a crazy game of Age of Empires 4. But lots of things going on. There's a couple of horsemen going on the west side and units diving in the middle. Gilded Spearmen. Well, this is not necessarily a good fight here for GUA. There's a lot of cavalry and there's a lot of Gilded Spearmen. The Gilded Spearmen are going to be ripping through. They're going to be trying getting Wallalow. No, he doesn't. I think he's got a refresh timer on that. He can't. The Imams just can't do it. I think that's a massive loss there by GUA. He's behind on villagers, behind on military numbers as well, but he is picking off a bit of the reinforcements coming in. Oh my god. Horsemen going to be, if they take out the traders, that's going to cut off the gold supply in a meaningful way, but GUA does have a lot of the relics still. 3. At the moment, 1 is left outside. And Corvinus, again, still pumping out units, right? It feels like he's got a lot of economy that he can just keep doing this. Not much of a bank left up, though. GUA, he's got a huge bank of food, but feels like he's finding it difficult to spend it. Another Wallalow. Mostly just to push things away. Not going to get it off, of course, and maybe now GUA can breathe a little bit. As I say that, maybe not. Because even more units diving in. They're going to be affecting the trade now as well, and I think if you're GUA, where do you go from here? Like, he's really struggling to stabilize, right? He's got all the upgrades you can possibly get in terms of eco and blacksmith ones, but what he doesn't necessarily have is a way to stop this flood of units. It just keeps coming. He's lost the trade now. And it's not ideal for him. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure there's all that much gold coming in for the Order of the Dragon, right? He's focusing primarily on horsemen and spearmen. Mostly trash units, and he's probably going to continue to do that. Raiding in the south-west. Gilded Horsemen heading in that position now, and might look to try and take out a couple of villages on the farms. It is pretty protected by the keep. Maybe what's not so well protected is the front of the base, right? There's quite a few wait, what? Oh my god. Okay. Can we just talk about this for a second? All 4 landmarks for the Delhi are literally on one computer screen, and that means Corvinus could try a bit of a cheese. Well, not necessarily needs to, but he could just dive in with a lot of melee units and just try and torch them down. And it looks like he might just be doing that. Gonna get an outpost. If you can get cannon in placement there, that would be strong. Ram coming forward for GUA. Horsemen are distracting, right? They're kind of peeling away as many of the enemy units as possible. Although he's just diving underneath 2 keeps that do have boiling oil. That's a bit rough. Oh, Wallalow. That's a lot of scholars. Wallalow coming off. Corvinus has to get out of there. He's going to try and body block maybe with the scholars. He doesn't quite manage it. Corvinus does retreat just in time, and they're not going to be Wallalow twice. Fool me once, but not a second time. Corvinus, though, does have a lot of archers to deal with, and he probably will be able to deal with them. There's a couple of gilded man-at-arms. A lot of scholars trying to heal up as best they can. This could be the big fight that we could see the end of the game if Corvinus can win it, but he's going to back away for now and maybe reset and come again. Speaking of resetting, does have a couple of gilded horsemen maybe to join the fight together. Scholars pushing them away entirely. Corvinus, he is regrouping, right? He's resetting in the middle, and he's going to be going again. Crazy thing is, GUA has boomed back up into 87 villages and 191 population. The army really starting to build up again for him. Another big pushback in this game of Age of Empires 4. Total tug of war. Corvinus, he might be going for a big push here. Might not be a bad idea at all. It's getting gilded man-at-arms. It's kind of incredible. I like what he's doing actually. So he spent his last army was primarily food and wood units, and he saved a bit of gold, and now is keeping the man-at-arms for the second wave. And the trouble for Jiwei is that, yeah, sure, he's got hand cannoneers, but that's all he's got that's really premium here. And the hand cannoneers are going to be focusing on the horsemen for now, and that's going to leave some space for the Man-at-Arms to put some pressure. There are some prelate as well, buffering up the fight, and the horsemen are going to be diving on the reinforcements on the west side. Man-at-Arms up right on the front, right on top of the army. And Corvinus is making some headway in the middle of the map. I think this is an army that the Delhi will struggle to deal with, right? Mass Man-at-Arms, gilded Man-at-Arms. There's no crossbows here, mostly hand cannoneers. Does have Ghazi Raiders on the front as a tanking on the front line. I mean, those horsemen peeled away. They could potentially do some damage. We'll have to keep an eye on that in a second. But Corvinus, he's going to win this fight in the middle. This is too tough for the Delhi to come back from, I think. Down to 68 military. I'm not so sure he holds on here. And even if he does, he's just lost so much. These Man-at-Arms, absolutely tanky. A couple of units just rallying past. They're not interested in getting involved in this fight. Hand cannoneers. If you can get on top of the hand cannoneers mass, I think that's quite critical here. The hand cannoneers is going to try and kite as much as possible. The horsemen going for the trade once again. There's two villages on the wood line too that you can go for. We'll see what he decides to do. Now the Man-at-Arms push is kind of almost dead, but it felt like he killed a lot more than he lost. And now with access to the trade once again, denying that, that is problematic. This might turn into a bit of a wood game, I've got to say. Who has wood left? A couple of stragglers there. It's wood on the west for Jiwei. I mean, the wood situation for Corvinus... Wait a minute. He's getting a keep on the front there to try and deny the farms. That's quite sneaky, and it might just work. That's where Corvinus is getting most of his wood. Oh, the army's being sent there. Oh no, the keep won't go up. That won't go up for Jiwei. Oh no, the horsemen aren't. They're not targeting the villagers. You need to go for the villagers. Jiwei deletes it in the end. He wants to keep hold of the stone, and he did get a reduced return back on that because there was torches on it. I guess Corvinus felt confident those villagers would die, and he wanted to deny as much of stone as possible. Look at that food bank though, 10,000, 11,000. Will we be able to spend it in time? That's the question. Another mass of elite gilded Man-at-Arms. Charging in the trade. It feels like it might be a bit too much. They're trying to clean up that army. Does keep 1, 2 markets alive again, building that up again. And another Wallalow trying to get it off there. Jiwei shouldn't be able to manage it in the end. Corvinus reacts on time. Wait. Oh my god, he almost went in. He almost went back into that. Good thing he didn't. That would have been pretty devastating, right? Holy moly. I mean, he might just torch this down. I don't think Corvinus is... I think he's winning this. I don't think there's a way that Jiwei stops this. He's got 82 military, but a lot of it was on the west side. It's going to take some time to get back into it. There they are, but they're a bit too slow. The most elite Ghazi Raiders, I think this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the landmarks on one screen. We talked about it earlier. That first landmark does go down. That leaves 3 more. Okay, the units are starting to pop out now for Jiwei, but I'm not convinced he's got what it needs, right? He needs crossbows. He needs a counter. Has some marches with incendiary arrows. I mean, that's a bit... Oh my god. No. That's a Wallalow. Corvinus, is he going to get it? No, he doesn't quite get it. I think he got a couple of villagers, but I think Corvinus is that population cap. Yeah, it is. So even if he got it, those villagers died, and this is kind of insane. Jiwei trying to rush up a keep, but again, I'm not so sure he gets it. 104 military versus 55. Trying to get another Wallalow. Does lose it there in the end. And okay, riding in with a couple of elite gilded horsemen. I'm not sure that keep goes up, and even if it does, he's lost a lot of villagers. He's going to lose a lot of villagers doing it. Another Wallalow coming up for Corvinus. He will get a couple of units, maybe just one. No, he doesn't. But the big thing is that he's lost another, well, possibly going to lose another town centre and another landmark. The keep has been denied on... Oh my god, that was so close. That keep... Wait, there's still a villager pumping. I don't think that... Wait, why are they not attacking? They are eventually, and the keep doesn't go up. It has been denied, and this is an overrun. This is a distraction. It looks like Corvinus is going to focus on that keep, and, well, Jiwei taps out. He has been overrun. Order of the Dragon do take out the Delhi Sultanate, and a great game on Cliffside. Holy smokes, that was a crazy game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching on Twitch, let's keep going. Take care, and see you next time.